Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? I walk from Bondi Junction to 1 hour to 2 hours, thereabout. Um, depends how, depends whether it rains or not, first of all. Second of all, it depends how fast I'm gonna walk. So yeah, that's start. Also, I'm streaming this on Twitch so that I don't lose the sync between the camera and also the audio, because I can't do it if I just record it naturally on my camera alone. So this is how I'm gonna do most of long videos, I guess, like long continuous videos. Um, I will talk, or I probably won't talk. It depends, I guess. There will be intermittent talking. Hey Nanaya! Hey Punky! Oh my god, I really did not think you guys are gonna come. I was so prepared for another empty stream. Literally, legit. How is everyone? Wait, I got a 30-second ad. Okay. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? So I'm just gonna walk from Bondi Junction to the city. So it's probably gonna take about like 1 hour to 2 hours. Um, yeah, it's a bit windy outside actually. So I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. It'll be problematic. You can hear me again? That's good. So I'm in Bondi Junction. At least it's nice and cool. Yeah, that's one of the reason. It's one of the reason why I wanted to walk like today, because it's 21 degrees ish. It was 33 degrees yesterday, like 34, so it was really hot. It was really difficult. But it wasn't that bad yesterday because I was out yesterday. I just didn't think. Anyway, how are you guys? I have been not good. I don't know, but I have an update for the past week. I was watching this, I'm good, kind of. It's not serious bad. It's just that I found out that apparently I think I have a low stomach acid. So for the past 5 days right now, I've been experimenting with this supplement that increases my stomach acid, and it seems to be kind of working. I say kind of because I still suffer the symptoms of low stomach acid, but I see results almost immediately. So I think that was the problem. So that's a health update. I guess like everything these days are gonna be a health update. That's what happens when you get older, I guess. Everything's like. Anyway. How come you're at home, Nanaya? Aren't you at work? So I'm just at Bondi Junction. Glad you ain't a boomer yet? Mate, I'm a millennial. Actually, your parents are probably not even a boomer as well, right? Like your parents are probably a Gen X. What's new job? Oh, tell me. That's exciting. Technically speaking. But you're a boomer from cool internet talking. Yeah, you're probably right. Like internet version of yeah. Oh my god. Everything is being developed. Look at these. Like all new buildings, all new apartments. Oh my god, dude, congratulations. Your life is so good. It's going up and up. Did you like it? Is it like a salary bump? Oh no. Dude, crazy. Are you serious? Oh my god, that is intense. Seriously? Oh my god. How did they found you? Like, how did that happen? If that is like serious, congratulations. If that's a prank, you got me. But either way, I'm happy actually. Dude, that's amazing. What about visa and stuff? You're still Brazilian, right? So are they like, how did you do the interview? Is it like a virtual interview? Oh no, it's drizzling. I feel like the drizzles would kind of come and go. It will be like a quick shower. So I feel like even if it's raining, I would still need to persist. Or maybe we need to hunker down somewhere. Oh my god! Congratulations! Dude, so congratulations. And here I am, still stuck in the same place. How do you move your life upwards? I feel like my life is so stagnant, but I'm still happy for you. 1 hour each, back to back. That's all to test your knowledge and I don't even know what to call like your technical knowledge and what is it like coding or what? How do they test your knowledge? Like what knowledge is there to be tested? Also, I'm gonna be 37 in 2 days. I'm so tired. I'm like, I don't even have the energy to feel anything because like my body is so tired all the time. I'm not even working. Half technical questions, half behavioral. That's a massive jump. Congratulations. I kind of like when people go and kind of like sorry, I just have to cross the street when I get here. Upgrade their lives. I think that's cool. Tell me how to go about it too, so I can upgrade my life and get out of where I am. I just, oh, hold on, there is construction. Oh my god, careful dry cleaning. So what is this new role entailed? Yeah, that's true actually. I think that's the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is what am I willing to do? The reason why I am. It's so loud, isn't it? Or it's just like my aging ears telling me it's loud. Software engineering. I was thinking about that. I was like looking up at Google Learn and I'm thinking maybe I should get like a beginner certification. The first beginner certification is 6 months course. It's free at least. And Google also have that, have the AI and machine learning. So maybe I should start from Google set. I need something that I don't need to, I guess it's hard. You need to answer to someone if you have a job. That's the problem with what I'm doing right now. I don't have to answer to anyone except the tax office at the end of financial year, yearly. outside of that, I don't really have to. If you want to follow that path, go ahead. I don't know. I think I really need to sit down and do. Oh, so pretty. Oh, freelancer, software engineer. That's probably good. Is my plants at home gonna give me this flower? I don't know. I feel like I might have the personality to do that. I might have the personality to become a software engineer. It's like no emotion. As long as the code works, that's what we're trying to get. Trying to get the code to work. I don't really like going through this bridge. It's making me nervous. Oh, that's what I was missing. I was like, why is the chat disappearing? And I realized I did not turn the chat for myself. I know a Korean woman who used to be a teacher decided to learn how to write software and then started working herself as a freelancer. Yeah, I can do that too. The problem with that is, like, I'm not saying it's not, I really need to, because now I know, mainly because I've heard it so many times that it actually gives you so much money. Mainly that, and it's probably the only career options that can be done remotely without much so I think like that's the closest job I could ever get that will kind of fit into my lifestyle. Yeah, or I can come up with a good unless I can come up with a good product that is going to be selling wildly, that would be great too. So I'm going towards Oxford Street, Gay Street, go straight to city. Why not? I love money, kind of, because if I really love money, okay, cross the street. We are all stuffing, fulfilling our traffic obligations. But anyway, so what are your plans? Are you like packing up already? Are you gonna get like your new apartment? How is the visa going? I would be so... Do people speak English in Luxembourg? Oh my god, you're so brave! I don't think I would be able to go to another... I don't know. I feel like I'm just stuck in my life. Maybe I don't know. I really need to whip myself into doing... Or maybe I need to get a friend to do the course with me. So, that'll be good. How long is the job for? Is it a contract or full-time? Dude, that is so exciting. Do they have like Corona stuff there? But the flights are outgoing from New Zealand. I'm pretty sure there is an outgoing job flights. So that's the Centennial Park. We're going down this way, and if you go down all the way from here, you can go to Ashby. So, and I also want to kind of feel like anything you put inside your mouth is gonna be a medication. Um, so I'm trying to help it by burning my energy up so that it can help me burn more fat. But yeah, but I guess the thing is, I feel like I'm only jealous of the fact that you are moving on with your life, but I'm not really jealous with the fact that you have to move across the ocean again, like, because you have moved from Brazil. Going through all those things is, I don't know, like, where do you file tax? Like, so if I move overseas, like, where am I gonna get like my tax number? Like, what do I need to do? Oh yeah, because New Zealand is like zero community transmission, isn't it? It's fine. You are do you smoke? Like, if you smoke, just try to quit for a while and you'll be fine because you're young. Yeah, in Australia too. In Sydney anyway, we're only using mass on public transport. Even that, like, some people don't use them. So this is Pulara. So we're doing pretty good right now. I think today is a fast walk because it's been only 18 minutes and I'm already at Pulara. So I might be in the city within 45 minutes. So today is a fast walk, I hope. Maybe. Because usually, last time I did this, it took me 2 hours. I don't know what I did. How did I become so slow? I didn't want to kind of walk around my neighborhood just because I got bored, so it's so far. So I thought I would do this. And you're probably gonna meet new people when you go there. That's exciting. I don't know. I'm really, really anxious about a lot of things. What do I need to do? But then again, it's not like I don't have anxiety here. I feel like the anxiety are the same. Maybe I should move to a new place so that at least at least I'll be preoccupied with things that I need to do in the new place. While here, I feel like I have a bunch of old things and stale things that I don't want to do. Are they making new comment? Tree protection zone. Also, I'm wearing my backpack today because it felt so heavy. Just like having my my handbag over on my shoulders. Like, I just use my high school bag. I don't know how to do it, Torky. Are you moving out of your parents' house? Let me know when you move out and tell me how you feel. If you are like, oh my god, this is the best decision ever, then I would probably plan my escape too. Are you like finished now, graduated? It's like, so this is an example of how stuck I have been. Last time, the first time I met Porky was when he was just finishing high school, year 12, and now he's finishing university. That's how insane it is. At the end of 22. Oh, okay. 5 years? 22, oh, yeah, but still, if you were in a 3-year degree, You would have graduated by now. Oh, cookies. You finished your Bachelor of Science, see? You're doing a double degree, right? Yeah. Yeah, you said you were on a bus home. How did your colleague react? React? How did your colleague react? Oh, my name is Val. How can I help you? That's how you know that I'm not a first English speaker. When I make like errors like that. Surprise, yeah. You make I think like the good thing about this kind of life-changing events for people that are your friends. Oh my god, that's massive. Dude, you're moving up. It's good. Is that it makes your whole circle, the people around you, question about their lives, which is not a bad thing. It's either affirm it or changing it, which I think is also good. So we're almost. It smells so good. What smells so good? Usually I only say something smells good if it's food. Okay. Oh, I saw the photo. That's good. I feel like I'm officially a photography now. A photographer. Professional. Someone bought my photo. Nothing feels better than being validated for your skill. Why am I puffing? Ooh, nice. Oh, I like that. I would be great if this is like red. I'll use that for my wedding. This red. The embroidery have to be red. Is it printed? I know y'all don't care, but and also, I need to skill up if I want to move out. But I also have had experiences. It's like any job. You have to answer to someone, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I need to overcome. Oh, I guess like as a freelancer you can make, yeah, but as a freelancer you're making something for someone. That's like taking a commission. Like taking a commission for a painting or something like that. Even that I don't take. Okay. There is a car. No. Sorry, I'm trying to talk to myself. You just happen to be here. Oh, that's pretty. I think it's the model that I'm questioning. That is very pretty. So framed is 2,500. Unframed is, can you see that? Unframed is 2,000. Oh. Not with what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is I'm just I'm just uploading stuff, and then if people buy it, they buy it. So there's a disconnection between me and the people that pay money. I can sleep and money keep coming in. And I like that royalty residual, oh pretty, residual model where you don't need to be there to make the money. And yeah, sometimes like for like tax purposes, you need to sit down maybe every year, and if the business grew, you need to sit down every quarter. But that's something that is rarely happened. Yeah. Well, it's not restrictive. It just depends on your creativity. I guess like that's the issue that I have right now. I'm hitting a ceiling, and I need to think of a new product or a new design that is gonna take me to the next level, so that I can make more money while I'm sleeping. Also, one of the issue was I'm not saying that I'm not happy for you, but I'm just like trying to think, like, why am I doing this? Trying to reaffirm myself. One of the issue was when I was working for other people was that it was really hard to kind of focus on health. Meaning like like right now, the only reason that I could figure out why I was having problem with my gut was because I'm living this lifestyle. Because if I have a deadline, I would just brush it off, not going to have any time or effort. What is this? To figure it out. But because I guess okay, I'm happy with my life. I just need to change it upwards. It's the right business model. It's the right model. I just need to scale. That's my issue right now. I need to scale. How do I scale? Ooh. Should we get some coffee or chai? Looks so cool. Hey Chizo, how are you? Welcome back. Oh, I'm just talking to Nanaya before, because Nanaya was saying, because like Nanaya just got a really huge upgrade promotion, which is great. I'm good. I'm just walking from Bondi Junction to the city, so I'm currently in Paddington, so probably gonna take another half an hour. You lost what? He's moving from New Zealand to Luxembourg and making so much money in return. So it's like I'm just discussing. Oh, I'm like, oh, should I make that kind of jump as well, going into the software industry, like the IT industry? Because I was thinking of getting my certification from Google, and maybe after that, going into that. Oh, it's the same username though, isn't it? Or is it different? I just remember the chisel part. I don't remember the rest of it part. How are you? I think last time I talked to you, you were quitting your job and trying to find a new one. I guess most people are in a career transition. Oh, okay. I think the bot is going to ban you for a bit. We can see the city. We can see the city. I'm walking really slow right now, actually. But yeah, I guess I can. Nanaya already left the chat. 30 minutes is not a bad number, I guess. Yeah, I saw it, and then you got reprimanded by the spam police. Oh, you made a new account. I have not eaten yet today. I'm not planning to eat until I get home, actually. I haven't made anything new lately, and I'm a bit... What did it? Oh, let's go. I think I need to be more like you, in a sense that... But then again, I was like that. That's how I got into a lot of trouble. Didn't think, just jump in, start a new thing, start a new degree, a new job. It's a good experience though, because you get into a lot of experiences that you would never get into unless you don't think about like the future too much. Which is, I think, what your 20s should be about. But you're not in your 20s anymore, right? Like soon you're gonna be, I don't know, 30 soon? Ugh. Yeah. I need to upskill and also relearn a lot of things. I need to get back to watching new courses online on YouTube anyway. I need to learn again. But I haven't really felt the urge to do it. Maybe it will never happen. I don't know. I'm fully aware by this time, by this age, that complaining is just gonna make me more miserable because no one's gonna sympathize with me. Because by this age, we all know if you want to have something new, you need to you need to do something new. You can't have the same thing and do the same thing and expect to have a different outcome. So pretty. Also, I was wearing earrings. I was trying to get like my earrings habit back on. I don't know, everyone's like grabbing their pockets. We heard like something dropped, but like no one knew what fell off, like on the on the floor. Everyone, like all the people, was just like grabbing their pockets, checking whether we dropped something important or not. Yeah. Ooh. Oh my god, look at that. So pretty inside. No speed camera? What do you mean? I just want to go in. I don't want to buy anything. Oh, you drive. I don't drive. Should I learn how to drive? I don't like being... I don't know. I don't like being in a small space with someone. If I drive, I probably would just drive by myself. style. It's very old school. They're trying to make an old school type dino. It's making a comeback these days. Ooh, I like mint color green. It's so cool. A little bit less distracting. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm feeling hunger for the first time in 5 days. No, actually, first time in a long time. I haven't felt hunger in a long time. I just keep feeding myself, but I don't feel hunger. Now I do, which is good. Because that means my acid and my gut system is kind of kicking in into a normal territory again. I've been following this account. It's for accounting, so it's an accounting account. Yeah, I'm about halfway to the city, so maybe another 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so it's not far. I'm walking pretty quickly today, actually. I am surprised. Maybe not. Let's see how long it actually takes. Because now I'm still in the middle of it. I feel like a bit proud of myself that I'm walking fast, but it might not be that fast. I might be just talking bullshit. So but yeah, that's the biggest news I've had in the past week is the fact that I figured out, not that I figured out, I am guessing the cause of my current or recent health issues were low stomach acid. So now I'm experimenting with taking in a daytime hydrochloride as a supplement. So it's day 5 right now, and it was amazing to see because at one point my gut area was so distended from my center I could not see my ribs, and it was like ballooning. Now it's just fat. I can deal with fat. I know what to do with fat. I just didn't know what to do with that problem before. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like it's a big thing, but it's also a natural thing to discover. The reason why I say it's a big thing is because I think that was the reason why my parents died, because their gut system was so messed up. And I remember having all the symptoms that my mom did when she was my age, which was probably the last time I lived with her. And then so I felt a bit sad, because if this was the issue and the solution is just a $20 supplement pills, is Happy Pride here? Yes, it is Happy Pride Month. Then why did they die? Like, you can just get this supplement from the health store for 20 bucks. It's like, why? Oh, it's so pretty. Let's go into this lane. Ooh. And the only reason that I could figure it out was because I'm living this lifestyle where I don't have to This is me convincing myself, by the way. There is nothing wrong with your decision, Anaya. I'm so happy. I'm trying to make sense of my own world. Because, you know, when you make decisions with. Ooh, shall we get one? Do they have coffee inside? However, please ensure. I don't know. Do I? I don't know. Feels intimidating. Pretty though. I think that's the good thing about people having big events in their lives. I like it because it makes you either affirm or change your life too. Which is probably why some people get really pissed off when their significant other or people in their friend group or in their family make huge decisions because it questions their own lives. Like what had just happened to me. I want to make a label like this one. So good. Because what they do, they don't even design it. I think like what they do, they just imported the products from overseas and they make the brand to be specifically minimalistic so they can mark up the prices, which is a great business model. And then they just make all their brands have certification of organic and free, like, you know, cruelty stuff products. I guess I like business. Like it or not, I guess I do like business. It gives you the freedom. Also, I don't have to see people or talk to people on the phone with people. Like, if you want to buy it, buy it. Anyway, I do need to come up with better products, better design, so I can buy a house and apartment inside. So maybe buy as well. Like, that is will be driven by that as well. Duh. Hi. Last year, you know, when the pandemic hits, I researched alternate source of alternate assets holding, which means like where do you want to put your money. And I realized like it's not good to have diamonds, it's better to have gold rather than diamonds. Like, that's my conclusion after researching that, is because you don't have a specific kind of standard, a specific type of standards with diamonds. The cat bag. You don't have a specific type of standard with diamonds as you do. Anyway, I prefer if you just like test, is this gold? Yes, it is. What is the purity of it? And then you just weigh it, and that's just how you determine the value of gold. But with diamond, you need to make sure the purity, the light refractions, or the carat as well. And then you also have to rely on experts to tell you that thing. So it feels like, and apparently diamonds are not that right, are not that I don't know how to say. It's actually more common than how I thought it would be. Like, I thought it would be rare. It's not rare. And I'm like, what? I did not know that. But yeah, I guess like, oh, so inviting. Actually, I do like this wood type of furniture. Look at that. That is so delicious. Oh, this whole thing is so calming. The thing with Australia is it's so far from everything else, which is good when you're in a pandemic. It's bad when you're trying to source products. I'm afraid to go and move to the US right now. There is a huge surge of Asian American attack, and one of the influencer on TikTok I watched, like, he basically moved his ass to Seoul, Korea, and then he went to the embassy, the US embassy, saying, "Hi, can you issue me to go somewhere else?" And the US embassy is like, "No, the only flight I can give you, give permission for you to go, is to go back home, which is the USA." The influencer was like saying, "No, that's where I'm leaving from. I want to get away from the US because I'm being hunted down. I'm being killed over there." It's a funny, not funny kind of situation. It's like you want to run away from somewhere, and then the person is telling you to go back to that place where you want to run away from. I also feel bad for people who basically went to like, it kind of triggered me as well, because the reason why I'm in Australia is because of the 98 riot that happened in Jakarta, which was an anti-Chinese sentiment, and that was fueled by the Asian financial crisis. So now it's happening again, but at the global scale. So it's kind of scary being like this in this current time of the pandemic. And I don't know, I think especially for the elderly people. Yesterday I watched a documentary on Netflix about equality. They're basically trying to dissect the 14th Amendment of the US and trying to kind of give people a taste of what it means to be protected. Use the same protection equally, and they are exploring it from a lot of angles, going back from the slavery angle, and then also eventually with marriage, and then with citizenship, and then yesterday the last episode 6, was about, it mentioned about the immigrants. So the topic for episode 6, this is on Netflix, is being narrated and hosted by Will Smith. So I don't know what it's called, you can just Google it. And in America there's actually an anti-Chinese act that lasted for 62 years, from the beginning of last century to almost in the middle of 1942, which was a long bloody time, mate. And it's basically preventing Chinese citizens to enter the United States. One of the reasons why was because of the economy got really bad, and then they were having influx of Chinese immigrants because of the gold rush, and then they have to pick on a black sheep, basically a scapegoat, of why it was, the economy went bust, and they picked that, and then the anti-Chinese sentiment kind of stayed on. They actually had an act, a legal act, calling the act itself is anti-Chinese something. So it's not in our heads when we do say things like anti-Chinese sentiment. It's there across the world, consistently embedded in their law. So I just want to give precedence to that. In Indonesia, the regime where it barred Chinese descended who have ancestors in China. So by the time I was born, so I only learned this recently. Apparently, I was not allowed to, I did not know this, I was not allowed to hold office in the government position, like a government official position. I did not know that. I was not allowed. I think they're allowed now, but it's only recently, like 10 years ago, 6 years ago. So like recent years, the changes were made into legislation. But so ignorant about all this. So apparently it was basically, no wonder everyone was so scared all the time. The older generations. Also, I just finished reading about, this is what happens when you're older, guys. You are reading a lot about where you come from, health, just boring stuff. But you do need all these things because it will make your life make sense. I just finished a book about cultural revolution. Basically, it explored the period in China during 1900s during the period of the Chinese Revolution, so 1950-ish to 1973. And this is where slaughters happen. This is like people just killing people for no reason. It's just like a whole chaotic period in Chinese history, because China at that time was trying to emulate Lenin, I think Lenin, and then trying to make China like Russia, and cause chaos and havoc and absolute destruction of the structures of the society itself. I guess, like I'm just saying, after I read that, I realized maybe it's not that bad to live in the era that we live in right now. It seems like last centuries there were so many chaotic moments in life that how did they survive? So now I've seen like with different eyes. If I've seen like older Chinese, I'm not saying I'm gonna be friendly with them, towards them by any means, because sometimes those times can make you really cruel and lost all your humanity, which kind of happened with their generation. But I'm waiting for this to go. Can I go that way? So that's the city. I've been walking for 56 minutes now, so I think I am within that range. I think like I'll reach the city in about 20 minutes ish, less than, so 15 minutes. So that's a pretty good time. I thought I was gonna do 2 hours, because usually it would take me 2 hours to walk, because I'm a slow walker. That's good. What my friend does, I have a friend, guys. I have a couple friends from knitting group. I'm rejoining knitting group again. Is you download Pokemon Go, and then you are forced to walk around if you have Pokemon Go, because you need to catch the Pokemons. You have to go outside. That's not a bad strategy, actually. I think like she did well. Even with swimming, I do it at the same pace as walking as well. Like I don't want to do the, I have to go to the other side really quickly. No. If you do that, you will never do 1 kilometers. 1 kilometers. 1 kilometers. 1 kilometers. I don't know how to pronounce it. No. I probably don't have a phone back then. I had a period in life where I didn't have a phone for like 2-3 years. I think it got big then. Or maybe I had an outdated phone, one of those. I haven't gone to church in a long time. The sky is holding up, guys. The sky is holding up. We have been lucky so far. I was thinking of wearing a jacket like I usually do, but then I thought I'm gonna get hot and sweaty when I walk anyway, despite the fact that it's quite cold outside, because my body is burning so much fat. Oh, I already checked it before I started my walk. I'm actually pretty... Do you do that? Do you check the weather quite often? I'm one of those people who check the weather quite often. No, prepare. No, I just like checking the weather because now they have this function where you slide the grid to check like what the weather is like at what time. So sometimes I'm like, so what's the weather at 3 o'clock, at 4 o'clock? And I think I started it because we have had those 40 degrees weather, those 45 degrees weather, and the heat waves kept coming, and I was like, when is this heat going to break? So you have to use that feature to find out. Now it's kind of a habit. We're almost there. Okay. Oh my god, I'm sweating. I know I'm detoxing when I smell bad. I only smell bad when I'm detoxing. What is that? Are these like beer cakes? Is that what it is? The skinny one with the bulge top. Sydney Tower, you mean? Skinny one. Happening here? I think it's happening at the SEC, isn't it? Because usually it's walked from here to Bondi, from Oxford Street to Bondi Beach. It's Pride Month. So everywhere is Pride Month. Helsinki Athletica. Pork roll. So dead. There is no one here. That's not good. Not like we are in the holiday season right now. It's on. We are in the middle of the week. Maybe that's why. It's like, is business dead where you are as well? Or am I just overly concerned about the state of our economy right now? I think like I just finished my speaking quota for the day. I don't have anything else to say. That's basically like a quota for a whole year of me not speaking to anyone in 1 hour. You know, like sometimes women actually have about like 4 or 5 hours quota of speaking a day. I think like I don't have that quota. I have like about 1 hour quota for maybe every 3 months or so, maybe a month. I can muster up a 1 hour talk for a month, but I think after that I just need not to talk at all. At least the wind is really helping right now. The breeze is cool and the temperature is really mild. This 21 degrees weather is, I'm for it. I'm here for it. It's officially autumn, so I'm kind of liking it. I can't wait to wear sweater again, coat, complain about how cold it is. I prefer cold than hot. Sandwichi. That's Japanese, isn't it? That's how Japanese pronounce it. I think it's a Japanese version, isn't it? Yeah, it's a Japanese one. Chicken katsu banh mi. Banh mi is Vietnamese though. Is it like a mix of Vietnamese and I'm gonna transfer this whole archive into YouTube. Sorry, because I can't record this when I'm using my phone. Liquor. I always think when I say liquor, it's like liquor, because like there is I think a bottle shop just in front where they put like liquor as liquor. So that's how I always think it nowadays. Oh, look at this fancy bike. I don't know why I go like that. Fancy bike now. I've been walking for 1 hour 6 minutes, and we are basically in the city area. I think my stamina has gone up. I thought my stamina has gone down. I was wrong. I am happy to be wrong. And I'm not that tired. So that's good. It used to take me 1.5 hours to walk from Bondi to this city. Also, I'm going to check whether I have like triple neck. Yeah, I guess so. I guess like when you are in a mindset, like a goal accomplishment mindset, kind of makes you feel like, I don't know, something is chasing you because you need to get something done. Also, because of the research that I did for my gut supplement, I kind of know where chemists' warehouses are around Sydney now. Because I was like researching, like, oh, which chemists that have stock for this product. Yeah, because it's a chore. It's not it's not a recreational thing. It's a chore. It's like the past, I don't know, 4 weeks. I've been vacuuming the apartment and mopping the apartment, and it's just part of my chore weekly now. Sunday is like where you clean everything, but before that, now it's a recreational thing. It's like, oh, I'm really looking forward to do it, but before it was a chore because I have to lug this Dyson, which was so heavy, and then you have to plug it in and the cable goes everywhere. And then I bought a wireless vacuum cleaner, and I'm like, I can do this every weekend. I'm like, oh, that's good. I guess you have to make any kind of activity to be fun at least, so that you would do it, not out of spite, but out of pleasure. Yeah, it's like that too with me, but with swimming. Like if I rush the lap, I will just get annoyed. But if I just take each stroke as it comes and let the feeling of the water into my hands and my palms, seeing like when you are rowing your hands and moving your hands forward, it's like that feeling of just gliding in water. It makes it so much pleasurable, and before you know it, you finish 10 laps, and it was fun, you know. But if you kind of like, oh, I just have to do it, I just have to do it because I have to do it, it's just really, really hard. So I've been invited by one of my craft group friends, is that even a thing, to attend to another craft group. I think like the whole purpose of the whole thing is not to actually make crafts, but rather to socialize. But I don't know if I can handle 3 people 4 times a month. That means that's weekly. I think my maximum is twice a month. Once a month is good. Twice a month is pushing it. Anyway, I really need to get back to streaming again, but I don't have an idea of what to do for streaming. Mainly I have to do streaming again because I paid for my internet already. I have like a 20 gigabytes internet every month that I basically did not spend since November, December, January, February, 4 months. So I wasted 4 by 20, how much is that? 80? 80 worth of gigabytes. Because I don't know what to do. Oh. Okay, we're in the city. So official time is 1 hour. Shall we hang out in the cafe? I've had this cafe in my house. It's a new record. It's not a record. It's just good timing actually. I think the rain is gonna hit the pavement soon. Seems that we're gonna get wet soon, so it's probably good that we reached the city before it started raining. Oh my god, it's cold. Do I have anything to prevent this coldness I was so confident that I'm gonna be really hot and sweaty, that I don't need any jacket. Oh boy, I was wrong. The only time that I don't bring anything to make myself warm is the only time where it actually needed. Welcome to my life. Degrees, so it's not that bad here. I can't believe I did it in there like 1 hour 13 minutes. I can't believe it. Just like even I now this 17, 16, like teenage years. So, or am I just making myself feel better right now? Maybe for someone else it will take less than, maybe it will only take 45 minutes. This is like one of the bad traits about me. I like to make myself feel bad. I don't like feel like I need to break this habit where I'm not even patting myself in the back. I am basically trying to cut myself down. Like, who is cruel like that to themselves? We should not be cruel like that to ourselves. Anyway. Get coffee from this place and then we're gonna head back to the town hall area maybe. I think the screen will freeze for a little bit, so because I'm gonna use my phone to pay, so if it freezes just come back, or I can just take out my card from my bag, but it's such a hassle. Like, I already have my phone with me. Oh, the wind is so good. Oh. Because I'm sweaty, so like as soon as the wind hits my body, it just feels like okay, I'm gonna take it's probably better if I take my cards out. Stay, 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 stay. This is my high school bag. I've had this since I was 16, 15, since I was 14. Isn't that bad? I feel like that's bad, having something since you were 14. This bag is 23 years old. Some people is not even alive. I saw this YouTuber recently, a new YouTuber, and he is 23 years old. I think my bag is older than him. And he has a lot more experience than me about life. And I'm not sure how to live with that. I know. I'm probably gonna give it away to someone if they have kids or something. Which I don't know why they would. Alright, let's buy something takeaway. Alright, my house. Can you buy things takeaway? Ooh. Hi, can I have a takeaway?
Takeaway just at the counter.
Okay, thank you. Where is the counter? Here?
Hello.
Hi.
How are
are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. You can have here takeaway.
Takeaway, please.
What are you after?
Can I get a regular soy decaf? Sorry, not soy, oat milk?
Oat decaf. What?
A cappuccino.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Bonnie, Bonny. To the point where I don't even correct people when they get my name wrong. Oh, this place, look at this place. It's so cool. Rose Paramount Hotel. So there is a hotel or recreation club. Someone Google. Oh, is this a co-working space? No shared carriage ride. Oh, look at that. I like that. I like that. Also, new things. Oh, I should stop pointing. That's rude. I like that pink though. Also, I like this steel thing, like industrial steel. Ooh, pretty. Strawberry bomb. Thank you. Alright, we shall continue our trip.
Enjoy.
You too. Look how tiny this is. I should have gotten a large. I did not know the regular is so tiny. I'm like, it's not a B, it's a V. It's not IE, it's a Y. I feel like people just stop listening. I don't know. My name is Bonnie. Bonny. Not pun. But they're all always spelled it out like that. I don't know. Maybe the way I said V is not strong enough. V, 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 V. Oh, I like to stay here because like the wind kind of. This is like I heard the Bonnie. It's with a Y, not with a IE. This is like a wind tunnel. So if you just stand there, the wind is gonna come. The coffee is bad. I probably should not have had decaf. That tastes like shit. Maybe I should have gone there for not a decaf but a proper milk, proper coffee. I give people a lot of space, I think. Crossing the street. This is not good. I probably will not go back there. Which is really bad because the vibe is so good. Like the whole decoration was so good. This is why you need to test things. If you don't try and if you don't test, you will never know. You will have this idea, this fantasy in your head about how good one thing is, and then you try it, and then you're like, no. I guess that's what being, and then you need to make your decisions after that. Like, which miserable kind of decisions do I need to put up with to get the outcome that I am willing to have? Okay, we shall go to Hyper. But we also need some shelter somewhere. The wind's doing bad things to my hair. This is really bad. Oh, actually, we can go to Sigla Key. I want to check whether they have Oh, this is not long. I already thinned it out. I have these scissors that I bought from Daiso, which is like thinning scissors. So if you see the bottom of my hair, it's really thin. It's not about the length, it's more about the thickness for me. My mind just went into the gutter. It's not about length, it's about girth. No, it's about the thickness of the hair because it overheats my head, and then I get migraines, and then I get a bunch of other things. So 2 weeks ago maybe, I just thinned my hair out. Just basically clumps of hair was on the shower floor. Bonnie. Oh, what? Yeah, that's me. That's my first name. Valorine is my internet name. It's my brand name. I'm thinking maybe I should get a business name under Valorine, but I'm thinking also I don't want to do it because I'm lazy. And then I was also thinking maybe later when I get one PTY Ltd, a company, I'll just put Valorine as the Valorine PTY Ltd. Right now I don't need it. Overall, up to you. I've been using it for 4 years now, so I'm pretty comfortable with either. Oh, it was uphill. I'm puffing. Also, I checked the price for this apartment, 3 million for a unit that is about mid-range, midway. Up until recently, I basically used Valor, like even in real life, but since the pandemic, I've been trying to use my real name in my real world. And if the internet people want to call me Val, that's okay too, because that's what people know me as. But before the pandemic, I think I was still going through a lot of the residual trauma of just being alive in the real world. Also, I am in Hyde Park and they're doing construction. Oh, there's a lot of wind, guys. Okay, I cannot promise that we would survive all the way to Sikiliki because it might rain. I guess it's an identity thing and you want to dissociate. Also, recently I've been question, should we go through here or go through around on the footpath? I'm gonna be lazy, I'm just gonna go on the grass because I think like everyone else did too. Also been trying to get back to research about autism as well, because maybe I should sit down and finish this shitty one, but I will finish it. Why? Because I paid for it. It was, I don't know how much was it? Oh. Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I'm also like reading a book now about the autistic tribe. It's kind of, I'm still drinking decaf because if I drink non-decaf, I will not sleep till tomorrow 9 a.m. So I kind of want to sleep. But I found Starbucks decaf is the best out of everything else that I've tried so far. So I've been buying Starbucks decaf roast ground coffee, like beans, whole beans, from the Starbucks in Central near UTS Broadway. If you're in Sydney, just telling you where to buy. and they're kind enough to sell me their bags. So one bag is about, it's pretty big actually. It's about 600 grams. So it's almost double the amount of beans that they sell in the supermarket. But you can't buy this in a supermarket. You can't buy Starbucks decaf in a supermarket in Australia anyway. And the other Starbucks around Sydney, I've asked, and they either too lazy, don't want to find out. So I only can buy my decaf roast, decaf dark roast espresso whole beans from that one Starbucks in Sydney, which is fine. Now I know. Oh no. We are in Hyde Park. I don't know. I still feel lost. I still feel like, why am I here? I still feel like, I want death to come really quickly. But at the same time, I'm solving a lot of, oh no, I should not have drunk this drink because now my tummy is rumbling and it's not a good sign. What do you mean? It's Hyde Park. Isn't New York have like Central Park, which basically about take like the bulk of the city? Like 60-70% of the city is Central Park? Or am I wrong? I'm sure Melbourne has it too. Don't they? I know there's a botanical garden in Brisbane because I've been there before. Can't remember Melbourne. Anyway, I was talking about autism, and I feel like I need to lean in more into autism study as well, because I feel like I'm understanding myself a lot more, especially with female autistic community. I need to find out whether they have it in Sydney or not. Maybe I can join them and see whether it's a good fit, and maybe have friends that kind of like me. A bit weird, can't socialize much, can only see people's eyes if the people's eyes are through a camera. Because I'm not looking into your eyes right now. I'm looking into a peephole in a camera. The acidity on this is quite high. Also, what was I saying before? I was saying about something else. It's so calming. Well, during summer and spring and autumn, when it hits winter, all you see is dead branches, like only the branches, because there'll be no leaves. But when it's here, it's very nice just to walk under the canopies of these thick leaves, like a fresh escape from the heat if it's hot. We're also very near to the botanical gardens, so it's not really that far away from the green areas of it all. I think the city is becoming greener the past few years because the tram is on. Before it was like filled with cars and traffic. Now you can just take the tram. So that will reduce the amount of heat in the city because there is no gas and smoke coming everywhere and cars going in and out. But you have to add like the bus as well. I don't know. Do you have any idea what we should do for streamings? So I feel like I don't have any ideas how to spend my streaming data. Now I have them. I need to maybe use it more for only like to walk as well, probably. I don't really like just sitting down and chatting because it's very hard for me. It's very hard to sit down and chat. I even have difficulties doing that in real life, like when people sit down. I prefer for it to be over a meal because you're doing something when you're eating. But if you're just sitting down and drinking coffee, it's really hard for me because there is no activities. The last time I met this new person, a friend, like a legit friend, like a female, not like a boy. I'm almost 40. I'm allowed to have men friends too, if I wanted to. And the only reason that we hit it off at our first meeting was because we went to a Korean barbecue. And there were so many things going on. There was smoke, they were like cutting their own meat, the meats are burning. And then you have to eat it very quickly, and you have to eat it and wrap it around vegetables, like around lettuce. And then you have to, you know, talk as well. So, and then the second time we meet, it was a disaster because we were only getting coffee and a snack. There was no activity whatsoever. We were just there, and the food finished within 2 minutes after we sat down, and that was it. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, the water is coming in. So we're just gonna keep walking straight from here to Circle K. My battery is at 48%, so I'll stop at, I don't know, maybe 25%. Either that or when we reach Circle K. Mainly because I will need my phone. No, actually I don't need my phone. I have my card, so I can pay using my cards. But I'll listen to music in Spotify. That is how bad I wanted to use my data, is so that I use Spotify rather than downloading songs. I'm actually just stream it because I have to use my data if I stream it. Anyway, you're right. If you have to go, just let me know. It's fine. I was just like thinking what I should do for streaming, because I can't just keep walking to the city every single time. It will be like the same content, wouldn't it? Maybe that's the key. I realize like most people who are successful at streaming or even YouTube, they only do one thing and one thing only, and they repeat that over and over and over again. The bad thing is it's boring. The good thing is people know what to expect out of your channel. I can go down. Oh, do I want to wait or do I want to go down? Let's go down. You can go down from here to cross there. But I think it might get cut out for a little bit, possibly. So if it get cut out, just refresh. And I'll be back on the other side. saw this ad in the internet about Newcastle City paying people $10,000 to relocate, and I'm thinking maybe that's not a bad idea. But at the same time, I don't know. They have I don't think you need a good streaming computer now. I think you can stream it on the cloud, so you can use services like Lightstream. I think they have like a free 7-day trials where everything is using a cloud service, so it doesn't bog down your computer, and you don't need a graphic card. So it's called Lightstream, just light, and lightstream.com. I don't have any affiliation, anything. I was gonna try it for myself, but I didn't want to sign up for the 7-day trials. I thought, oh, if I were to use it, I want it to be free. I know, I'm being a cheapskate, because I wasn't going to use it too often at home. And if I stream at home, it beats the whole purpose of buying the bloody data in the first place. Why am I huffing and puffing again? Let's just drink. Let's get our bottled water out and have a drink. Getting a little tired. Yeah, the city area is hilly. Sydney is actually very hilly. Oh my god, I smell so bad. So right now I'm asking this accountant of if I were also on TikTok. An accountant is not an accountant. I'm a TikTok addict by now anyway, but I don't use it like to post. I just use it to scroll and enjoy the content, which is, I think, is really weird, because usually I'm one of those people who are the suppliers rather than a user, but on TikTok I'm a user and not a supplier, or a supplier as well. So it's like on YouTube I make videos as well, and I watch a lot of videos. On Facebook I just update my videos, and I don't really do anything on Facebook. I'm just there to connect with people in groups, chat in groups, in Facebook groups. But on TikTok is the only medium where I literally just scroll and consume. I have hiccups. Oh, is that a new restaurant? Never seen it before. I'm much in place. I think I've been to Parliament House once, but I've completely forgotten how to get in, how to get out, what's in there. Hiccups? What is hiccups anyway? Is it like air going up the pathway? Like, I mean, like, I know what hiccups is. I mean, like the mechanics of hiccups. Because I know the mechanics of burping. I don't know the mechanics of hiccups. I enjoy finding out the mechanics of things. The mechanics how dreams comes true, for example. The mechanics of how to make your wish come true. I've got my Macquarie stick here. I think it was in one of these. It's in this building, is it? I think yeah. In this building, I have my left thigh tumor taken out. Oh my god. The place where they did the surgery, I felt like I was in a horror movie where there's a butcher and I was like on the slab and they're just like cutting me out and they can, okay, thank you. And I was awake. Literally the vibe was like that. Oh, and the doctor who cut me out was so fragile. His figure was so fragile. I'm like, mate, I'm the one that's being bloody cut open here. Why are you complaining? And he's so touchy. It's weird. We're just gonna wait. Even if you buy this building, I don't think you can tear it down because of the heritage component, I think. I felt like recently, I'm turning older in 2 days. I think I said this to you guys. It's 37 in 2 days. And I feel so inadequate and so, I feel like there's so many things I don't know how to do. For example, like, okay, what do I need to do if I need to like refurbish my place? Who should I talk to? It's like I have so many adult things that I don't know what to do. Oh, that is so pretty. The bin. I felt like, I don't know. Is it like because it's a bit difficult to talk about, I guess, now, because I think like I have not yet completed the understanding of, or I have not yet fully accepted my own self-diagnosis of being autistic. I mean, like, so far I'm still doing okay, and then when I think of the whole context of things, 37, still living by yourself, still living kind of at home, where there's no real responsibilities at play. I pick and choose all activities that do not need other people. It's different in female. When I first encountered it, like the list of checklists that you need to, not you need to have, but the checklist in the female community in 2011, 2012, I took 9 out of 10. I'm like, oh shit. And these days, I think because there's a lot more people, a lot more female, and also TikTok, I think a lot of Gen Z are talking about it as well, so it's a lot more accessible. And for me, now I'm starting to kind of really taking it seriously, because now it does seem to be of a problem because of this very blatant things in my life, like 37, still working, still living at home, still enabled to do a bunch of things that I'm not even saying about meeting societal standards. I'm not even saying that, because I fully understand and grasp and accept that people have different paths in their life. So it's not, you know, no one's gonna follow societal scripts in every single detail of it. Like, people will always stray somewhere, somehow. Even people who looks really good on paper, they will have shit that people will have like the skin crawl out of when they're found out, right? So, but there are things that I don't know. Like, now I I don't think I have fully come to terms and accept this idea about me, but I'm trying to, mainly because it makes sense and it's actually very helpful, and it kind of removes a lot of self-flagellation that happens because you're not following this norm that you are trying to impose on yourself. As soon as, like, if I think in that different path, I would try to find a different solution, because I would understand, oh, okay, it's a different mindset altogether. Oh, this building is so cool. I remember having a group lunch or drinks, whatever. I remember this specifically. I know this is probably not a good example. It's like one out of many social interactions. But I remember very vividly. I was looking out to Darling Harbour instead of being part of the group. And that, I think, happened a few times. And I just tried to avoid eye contact with everyone. My friend called me, man. I don't know. But anyway, I'm positive I am. I just need to kind of work my way into it. Meaning, like, I need to kind of come up with a solution in how I should kind of like bridge the gap. Because I can't be alone by myself for the rest of my life. I need friends in life. Cheap secretary building. It's okay. I'm trying not to get hit by the traffic. So I'm thinking like things, like simple things, like even with like Nanaya moving to Luxembourg, for example. I'm thinking to myself, if I were normal and don't have these traits in me, will I be able to do that as well? Like, will that be something that I need to do? And if I am not able to do it, what kind of steps do I need to take to not aggravate that part of me? You have to learn a new language or something. I don't know. I think most Europe are pretty fluent in English, aren't they? And Luxembourg is a very tiny principality as well, so they might have. I know Switzerland have borders with Germany, France, and Spain, I think, so they speak 4 languages, including English. So I don't know about Luxembourg. I reckon like it applies as well. I think most people would come from the main Western countries, so I assume they would speak French, German, Spanish, Luxembourgish. But it's very tiny, so I assume most people there are expats. Oh. But Nanaya is Brazilian, so I think he'll be okay. I would be worried if he's Asian right now. But he's Brazilian, so he'll be okay. And he's 6'6". He'll be safe. He'll be safe. Trying not to worry about my friend getting killed. So we are actually there almost at Circle K. So I didn't really take the most scenic route to go down here. I took the shortest path rather than the scenic route. We can go down till the end and then we go around the key area before I'm going to the rocks area where I want to take when I want to go into this art shop to see whether they have some art supplies, because an art addict needs an art supply. Also, I've been doing oil pulling the past couple of days, few days. Oil pulling is when you put oil and you swirl it around like mouthwash every morning. I think it's suggested. They say like on the internet it says like 20 minutes, but I only did it for 5 minutes every day. So I just put the timer on 5 minutes. I can't really do 20 minutes. Okay, bye Jizo. Thanks for keeping me company so far. I will end this anyway. We're already at Secret Key. I will see you later. Thanks for hanging out. Hope everything will be staying safe. And I'll talk to you later. So this is like botanical garden right now. Where are we going today? Actually, Clive, welcome to the chat. But we're at the end of the streaming session. Almost at the end. We're in the city. We were coming from Bondi Junction and we walked all the way to the city right now. So we are heading towards Siklaki. This is the final leg of the walking session that I'm doing today. At the end of this road is Siklaki, and we're just gonna walk around it, and then by the time we get to the rocks I will end the stream. So there will be around 10 minutes worth of walking right now. How are you? Welcome. So if you can see at the end of the road, that's also water. Basically, so we're just gonna take the long road now. Mostly also because my battery is at 40%. That's Botanical Garden. We're in Sydney, Australia, by the way. I think you know as well. How much is that? I think about $5 million. $5 million, you think? I think most of the prices here. So a one bedroom around here is probably $2 million. I've been checking a lot of the real estate prices, and I'm like in no realities that I would get one. And although I don't want to have a mortgage, yeah, I'm just waiting for it to crash. It's not a bad thing to say. I don't know. Maybe I will just rent and keep renting until I get married, and then have my husband put my name on the paper and on the title. I don't know. If I ever get married, if I can live with someone else. That is the upper house. I want to live the high lifestyle. I don't think a millionaire is going to cut it. A one bedroom apartment in Sydney costs $1 million. I don't think you can buy anything with a millionaire. I think you need to have like a tycoon, people with at least $100 million worth of assets. And liquid assets at that too. You can't have everything as tangible assets. A millionaire is nothing these days. It's so bad. Oh, I feel like so poor. I feel like left so poor. I don't know. Maybe if I were 17, I would. I'm 37. I don't think any tycoon would want a 37. Unless I go for like 90 years old. Why would I do that? It's okay, I'll just die poor. That Opera House? Yep. We're at Siklaki. Shall we go around the Opera House? We should go up. and then I need to go to the Rocks um, for the art supplies. The art supply shop is just across the quay. I used to go from Martin Place, and then I would walk all the way around to Botanical Garden and go back again to Martin Place. A quick walk would take about half an hour, and that would just be enough for me to take a shower and then get back to the office and use up my lunch hour. What is the price for the food around here? I reckon it'll be expensive. One of the good things about the pandemic is that there is no one here. Usually it'd be packed, because even though we are at the early March now, it would still be packed with tourists. But because there is no one coming to for you coming here unless you have business. Show or taking a tour, get ready to check in via QR code. I don't want to do it now. I'm just gonna go around. But you should. People, you should. The hypocrisy. Here you go. I don't know. I don't think you should see my face. I feel like you should enjoy the view. Just enjoy the view. There. I need to make money so I can move on. I can move to the northern suburbs. Well, not really northern suburbs, like the northwest. So I can be around people that looks like me. I feel like I'm being racist, with like reverse racist. I've seen like a lot of mixed people lived in around the Chatswood area, and I don't know. No one from Sydney here. Hey, I think most people are from outside. But anyway, also, have Vivid finished this year? Vivid is the Sydney festival where they light up the Sydney city with a bunch of lights, like decoration lights. Well, not decoration light, decoration show, light show, like a light show. A light show is where you have like arts displayed on. When you have art displayed on the bridge. Sorry, not on the bridge, but on the. Have you ever climbed the bridge? No. I'm taking screenshot. Not the bridge, like not over the bridge, because you have to pay like $300 or something to go over the bridge. But just walk across the bridge, yes. Climb the bridge, no. I don't know if I want to pay that much. My cousin has though. I think she and her husband went once. Ooh, art stuff. I don't know. I don't see the reason why I should pay money to make myself scared. I think so. You can check. You can Google Sydney Harbour Bridge. Climbing Sydney Harbour Bridge cost. I think it would come up. I don't know if it's $300, but I think it's around $100. I think $300 sounds about right. So I'm basically just walking around the Opera House. I'm not really doing anything particular here. And then after I finish going around, so that's the Opera House from down here. And then after we do that, we are going to go to the other side of the key, which is the rocks, and then I will end the stream there because my battery is also dying. Oh, there you go. It's not as expensive as I thought. Oh, okay. No, I take that back. To $33.88 for an adult. Bridge climb, plenty of options available. So yeah, I was right, kind of. So it's nearer to $400. I don't know. I feel like Sydney is so unreasonable with prices in general. It's just that my only complaint is the fact that the quality of things that I received. Oh really? Oh, so our Australian dollars is really high though right now. It's about 1.25. So 1.25. So about like 0.75 USD, 0.8 for every dollar Australian. So I don't know. In a lot of ways, it's good because I can buy things cheaply for my business, but at the same time, it's bad because I'm making money in US dollars. So the money that I receive from sales are decreasing because the US dollar is getting weaker. The wind is getting stronger. If you can't hear me, just wait until I'm not in a wind tunnel. So that's the botanical garden, which you must visit. I think if you're in Sydney, I think it's a must. I think it's beautiful as well. Yeah, I think last time it was 1.25 or something. And when was it? Last week. I pay attention to it because I make money with the US. My customers are US based, almost all of it. So I need to kind of pay attention a little bit to the US dollars. And it's also attached to gold prices. I'm trying to can't go to Sydney not see Opera House. You know what? I never go inside the Opera House. I never seen any shows in the Opera House. I think this is one of the things that I was saying about, like, I'm an adult, but I really don't have adult experiences, and I don't mean like, you know, the loot or like the dodgy part of adulthood, like, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I don't mean that at all. I mean like proper adults, like, you know, going to operas or going to places where adult goes. Or I feel like people at my age have the expectation that I would at least know how to buy a house, at least know how to get a mortgage, at least have an income that can afford a mortgage. I don't know, like, you know, experience shit. I just don't have these experiences. I feel like I should be brave enough, like Nanaya, to move across the globe for a new job. Not a new job, like for a new environment. And take risk. Shit like that. Yeah, but I can't even afford like a $300,000 apartment. I don't even talk. I'm not even talking about the $5 million houses here. Like, I'm even like, you know, places where it's about 2 hours away from Sydney. Not that I want to live there, because, you know, I'm a city girl and I really like the fact that I can just go down, buy something, and come back up in 5 minutes and get everything I need. I'm just very unsatisfied with my life. But it's not bad. I feel I'm becoming normal, which is also not bad. That's not a bad view, eh? I know I sound like I'm complaining and I'm asking for a solution. I'm not. I'm just discussing my situation. See, I don't even have the guts to do that. It's just like my overthinking. I don't know, I think I still have these expectations that, okay, I'm just gonna wait until I get married and then I'm gonna outsource that area to my husband. That is very unrealistic expectation. Mainly because I don't even see people. I'm not even on a dating app. I don't even leave the apartment. The unrealistic expectations of that is even funny to me. So the only probable solution for that is to increase my income, and then I can actually realistically kind of plan it out from there. It's just me talking. I'm just using you guys as a sounding board rather than a solution brainstorming. Like, don't stress out. I'm not trying to ask you guys for help for a solution. I'm just using this as a, I don't have anything to talk about, so I'm just talking with whatever I have in my head at the moment, which is not a drawn out conclusion, but I'm pretty sure I will find a solution when I'm finished thinking about them. One of the most expensive, yeah, dude, but I've checked Hobart as well. Hobart's prices have doubled and tripled in the past 4-5 years. It's like insane. I was like, what? Like about 3-4 years ago, like an apartment probably only cost about $500,000. That was already expensive. Now if you check out the prices in Hobart, it would cost you about $800,000 for like a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's like, no way, man. Where do you live, Chivo? Clive? I saw Chiselback and then Clive and then Chivo, so I just combined the two words in my head. Yeah, I know, I just noticed. And I'm like, oh hi Chizo, welcome back. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, I know, you're in Melbourne. I was asking Clive. So I was like, Midwest America. So that's like Chicago area, Midwest, next to Seattle. Those are the Midwest area, isn't it? But also, going back to like, I haven't really experienced all these adult experiences, and when I mean adult experience, it's not like I actually want to experience them either. It's like I don't really want to go to fine dining restaurants, but at least I would like to say I've done them. Not that I would enjoy them. Seattle is far away. No, I mean like between Seattle and Chicago, like that's where Midwest is. That's my best where things are. Yeah. Sydney, like it's big. Really? This is just like the harbor area. So, you know what? Next time, if it's not too cloudy or rainy and hot, maybe we can just walk around that place around there. Like if you see, so I think there is a walk, there's a footpath over there, and then going all the way to, the back area. So you can, I think you can walk around this coast. So maybe we'll do that next time. There you go. I just got an idea, and hopefully it's not as windy. Then I think that's a problem with outdoor streaming, is that it's really windy and it's really hot. There is this big gap of at least like 1 arm length talking to the camera. So, and then there is wind, and then I'm not sure even whether Seattle to Chicago, seriously? How long does it take? I think it takes about, I don't know, by train is about 3 days. The Grand Trans Western train, I think. About 3 days, 3.5 days. Someone did that, I think, once, my friend's friend. I think the government is proposing a high-speed rail from Sydney to Melbourne, or Melbourne to Gold Coast or something. 31 hours to drive? No. Perth to Sydney is longer than 31 hours, mate. No. No. It takes 5 bloody hours to go by plane. So it has to be more than 31 hours. I know from Sydney to Gold Coast at least, or Brisbane, it takes roughly about maybe a day if you drive non-stop. Sorry, it's not 31 hours. For sure. Did you Google it? 41 hours, yeah, I can believe that. 41 hours, I believe. It's like a 5-day, 8 hours full-time driving days. And we didn't even have plenty of kind of rest day. Every day is almost like just every day is a travel day. In 24 hours, yeah, you can do that. 24 hours sounds like a reasonable time. But it's gonna be it's bloody gruesome though, because it's just boring. Like there's nothing there. You can hit a kangaroo along the way, and it's just very dark. There is I'm so scared. There is no light whatsoever, especially when you're out from the city area. And once you're out of Sydney, you're basically nowhere near city areas, because all the other cities across Australia, at least now anyway, at least like back then, like 10 years ago, there's not a lot of infrastructure. Well, the thing is, mate, it's different between America and Australia is that you have 50 states. Like, okay, let's assume about, I don't know, how many states there are actually in the mainland. Whatever states, how many states in the mainland, you have a lot of little states with a lot of different cities. In Australia, there's only about like 6 major cities, but to be fair, it's probably only Sydney and Melbourne that you can count as cities. The others one are like big country town. 48 mainland, there you go. And in the States as well, if my understanding is correct, all these states basically have more autonomy within their states than in Australia, because the federal government, in my understanding, is that the federal government actually takes care of overseas and international business rather than the domestic business in, anyway. I feel like I ran it on. Sorry. When you see the tram, before we kept going to, and this is how you know that I'm autistic, is that I like trains, I like trams. I should have known. How did I not find out? But yeah, so that's my understanding anyway. It's very different. Like we only have one capital city in the Western Australia, and that's like half of Australia, is like West Australia, and there's only one capital city over there, and it's tiny. Perth is tiny. Nobody live in the middle of it. Yeah, I think like the scientists really need to come up with something though, because I feel like we are wasting space. Like there's a lot of space that we can use, but we haven't figured out how to utilize them. I don't know. I feel there is a need for that. I really enjoy the fact that we have trams in Sydney now. I also figured out, I downloaded the Melbourne transport map of the tram system and the train system. It really stressed me out every time I went to Melbourne before, in the past 22 years, which probably only happened about 5-6 times. It's not a lot, but it always stressed me out that how I don't know how the system works, but now I do. I feel calmer now. I really do need to find out like how things work. Two hours. Okay, so next I'll hopefully find a place to stream. So next walking stream, hopefully weather's good, temperature's good, and I can do this again soon. I feel it would be good to exercise as well and walk for an hour outside and talk to you, well, talk to people in general. Just talk to someone who is alive and not in my own head. You know, I have imaginary conversation at home. That's just what I do. I construct words and sentences and I practice so that when I'm in the social situation, I can fake my way through as a normal person. Which is probably a big giveaway. You're right, Clive. If you want to check out the Discord, there's nothing there, but usually I would just give announcement when I would stream, which is really rare. I feel like I am hyping myself up and then bringing myself down straight away. It's like hyping myself up and lowering my expectations in the meantime. Okay. Well, this is not normal, is it? Like I'm talking to a camera. It's not like I'm talking to two pairs of eyeballs. This is a structured social event where I know what I need to do. I kind of have an idea of what the other people are doing right now, because they're probably doing the same thing I do if I'm watching a stream, either on their computer or on their phone. They're usually alone. This is not usually a group activity. So I'm basically talking to another person rather than a group of people. So this is already planned out in my head. So it's not like it's a spontaneous thing that just happened. And I'm just bumping into someone and have a proper conversation all the way. I'm running out of... No worries, come if you can, come if you don't. There is no pressure. There is no need to feel pressured. I'm not even pressuring myself to do this stream. I'm running out of breath. Why would you? Okay guys, I will see you later. Thanks for coming to the stream today. And this stream will be available as an archive at youtube.com/Valerine. I will see you guys later. Bye everyone.